angry guy here, and women are shocked men will never forgive them for feminism as passport bros leave. Women are shocked that men will never forgive them for feminism as passport bros leave. So much has happened since the feminist era began, since third wave feminism came and went, and then we transitioned into fourth wave feminism, which was online feminism. Online feminism brought us things like the M2 movement, and we saw the results of M2 and how it wreaked havoc through society, and it affected the lives of men and the livelihoods of men as well. Women believe that after everything that has happened, men are going to come running back and say, they're there, everything's okay, all is forgiven, we forgive and forget, and let's move on together. I said this many years ago, and I'll say it again. I said that after women got to the point where feminism no longer would benefit them, and it was now hampering their opportunities in life, they would turn around and say, feminism got us everything that we wanted, now let's fight it together. And of course, they'll start pushing for another ism, probably humanism, because they're always going to be attached to something. I've said this already and I'll say it again, that when feminism leads to consequences, and it will lead to consequences, women are going to turn around and they will never hold themselves accountable for choosing feminism. Instead, they will actually say that men are the ones who are responsible for feminism. And they'll come up with a multitude of different reasons to explain why men are responsible for feminism and they are not. Because they are very, very adverse to responsibility and accountability. It's something that women absolutely struggle with. And don't expect that to change anytime soon. I've said this before and I'll say it again. Unless society holds women accountable for the things that they do in society, women will never hold themselves accountable for their actions in society in and of itself. It's no wonder that men are choosing to walk away, choosing to no longer enter into matrimony, but rather to avoid these things entirely, dropping out of the workforce, working just enough to survive, and not worrying about starting a family or having children. However, if they do decide to do that, they are leaving Western society entirely and going overseas and instead focusing on their peace and finding someone who is a team player and has traditional values still intact. What men are discovering is that cooking and cleaning are just the bare minimums. And we need to be very clear that in Western society, our so-called better halves have made it extremely clear that these are things they will not do anymore because they do not view them as progressive, they view them as regressive. But to be very clear, every adult should know how to cook and clean so that they can take care of themselves. And unfortunately, this is something that a lot of modern day women now struggle with because of the feminist ideals that they have taken on. Every man, every woman should know how to cook and how to clean for themselves. And I would argue that knowing how to sew is a big part of that as well. Because when hard times comes, everyone needs to know how to stand on their own 2 feet. You won't be able to Uber everywhere. You won't be able to DoorDash your food. You won't be able to Instacart your groceries. When hard times come, you're going to have to figure out, how will I survive using just my 2 hands? There's a saying, when the lights go out, some people panic. But on the other hand, when the lights go out, some other people plan it. All right? What I mean by that is you could either be a person who breaks down under pressure, or you can plan for a rainy day. Guys, don't forget that after 2020, we saw the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of mankind. People actually ended up with large nest eggs as a result of what happened. I'm telling you right now that they are in the works. They are pushing so hard to manifest something else, some other catastrophe, so that they so because guys, there's a saying: never waste a good crisis. And the next crisis is just around the corner. And when such a thing occurs, a lot of people are going to make a lot of money. And you need to position yourselves in a place to do that as well. All right? You need to be prepared for that. Women seem to think that they're going to be coming along for the ride. A lot of these women are going overseas now, looking for men overseas, all right? Looking for husbands overseas. They're basically following the men who leave Western society overseas. Guys, I literally had this beautiful woman hitting me up on a Filipina dating website, and she was in California. And I'm like, bro, I made it very. This is a Filipino website. On my profile, it says I'm looking for a Filipina. Why are you on a Filipina dating website? This is just how, guys, like, this is some next level stuff. This is next. You're gonna see more and more women doing this, because what they're saying is they're realizing, oh, these are where the men of value are. Because if you have the kind of bread that you can go overseas, then that means that you have certain values. See, a lot of the guys that are messing around in Western society, chasing after something and someone who doesn't want them, these guys don't have their lives together. They don't have their money together. All right? They don't have their health together. They don't have it together. All right? But guys who are walking away and saying, you know what, I'm going to walk away. I'm going to focus on myself, focus on my own happiness, and finding my own peace. Those are the men of value. And there's a lot of women that are now realizing, okay, so this is where the guys are. We're gonna go to where the guys are, because while these women are chasing down these other guys, we're gonna focus on these men that are walking away, and we're gonna have them all to ourselves. So what they're basically doing is now they're directly competing with the Filipinas and the foreign women for the men that are walking away from Western society, dating in Western society, relationships in Western society. These women are saying, okay, we're gonna go directly to these men and try to snag one this way. But a lot of dudes are not gonna fall for it, because there's a reason why they're on these platforms. It's not because they can't get a date in Western society. It's not because they can't establish a relationship in Western society. They are rejecting these things. They're rejecting the Western ideals. And a lot of these women are shocked because they never thought this would happen, that there are a group of men who are rejecting relationships in Western society, and they don't want them. They do not want to have relationships in Western society. They want to go overseas, and if they want a relationship overseas, they will establish a relationship overseas, but they do not want to establish a relationship in Western society. They don't want to have anything else to do with Western society. They make their money, and that's it. And it's going to have a detrimental effect on the economy and the future of Western society. It absolutely will. And as I've said before, when these consequences manifest and women can no longer avoid said consequences, they are not going to take accountability. They will blame the feminist, they will blame God, they will blame society, and of course, most of all, they will blame men before they ever, and when I say ever, I mean ever, think of blaming themselves. Because that's just the way that women operate. Guys, what do you think regarding this? Women are shocked men will never forgive them for feminism as password bros leave. I want to hear your thoughts on this, so let me know what you think in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, men walking away. And cheers.